What's up, everybody? Eric here with another EWE Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing Season 1 of The Last of Us. Before we get into that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you guys thought about Season 1 of The Last of Us, and let me know if you guys agree with what I say on this episode, guys. But yeah, let's move on from there. So, this review will have spoilers in it, so I'm just giving you guys a warning. This is an overarching Season 1 review. I'm going to start with some spoiler-free stuff, guys, but we'll eventually get into the spoilers when we're actually talking about my actual thoughts. So let's just get some... I'll give you guys a warning when I say spoilers. Alright, so let's just start off with some release information. So this first season ran from January 15, 2023 to March 12, 2023. And the main cast is Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey. Now, if you haven't been watching the show, the basic plot of the show is the apocalypse has happened. We now have people got infected with the disease, basically from fungus that now goes into your brain and you lose control of your body, and you're not a zombie, but you're basically a zombie. You're a more dangerous zombie. You can run and all that other crap that most zombies can't do in other mediums. And we're following Joel and Ellie as they try to take Ellie to reach this group known as the Fireflies. And there's more to do with why Ellie needs to go to the Fireflies that I will not discuss in this section of the episode. But yeah, that's the basic plot. Let's now move on to what I recommend this episode. I mean, the season, I would 100% recommend Last of Us Season 1. I thought it did so much right, and it impacts you in a way that you don't expect. You care about these characters. You want to see what's next for them. You want to see them succeed. You want to see what's going to happen. And even though many things lead you to heartbreak, you just want to keep going to hope that maybe things work out better for them. You're hoping maybe because things went bad here, maybe they'll go bad later. So in that aspect, I think people should definitely watch it. There will be a season 2, so it's not one of those Netflix shows where you watch a season and then you're not sure if it's coming back. This one for sure, it's coming back for season 2. So that's a good thing. And I don't know if we'll get a season 3. There's only 2 games at the moment, and season 2 might be where it ends. Alright guys, let's now move on to with my score for season 1. Alright guys, I've had to record this multiple times because my logo keeps going away because my computer's being stupid. Alright, so let's first go now to the score of the episode. So first I want to talk about on the PS3, I gave the game a 10 out of 10 when I first played The Last of Us. Now let's move on to the show. For season 1, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 for great. I don't think it's a masterpiece like the video game, but I feel like it's a video game that's really hard to really adapt. There's things about it that just weren't easy to move over. So that's where I'm going with the score. Like I said, I recommend it. The score is an 8 out of 10. Great. I'm going to actually talk more about it now in a spoiler section. So if this is all you guys cared about, you want to know if I recommend it, what's my score, basic plot of the episode, and that's all you guys want to watch for now. Cool, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you thought. But once you actually watch the season, please come back so we can actually talk about the spoilers. I really hope you guys hear what I have to say about it. So let's actually give you your warning, and let's move on to the spoiler section. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, now we're into the spoiler section of the episode. So I'm going to do this a little bit different than my usual bit. Usually I go through every plot episode. I'm going to go first with the good, and then we're going to go with the bad. So the good for this show is the performances of the cast I thought were unbelievable. I enjoyed so much of this. Bella Ramsey sold me as Ellie to the point where at first when it first started I was like, oh, do they need to recast it for season 2 because maybe you want someone that looks a little bit older. I am completely 180 on that. Do not get rid of Bella Ramsey. Bella Ramsey, this was the role that she's just doing so great in. I don't want to see her recast. Pedro Pascal as usual. I mean, it's Pedro Pascal. He can do any role. He has such crazy range. If you want to see, go to his SNL video and he shows you who he played in Law & Order. You can see his range of how he can play actor. So trust me, Pedro Pascal is great. Another thing is the story. This is a story that is meant to break your heart. And I remember the video game. One thing that the show and video game did very differently, and I'll give the show credit for this. When the first game was over, to me, Joel was the villain of the game. Just because of things he did, I was just like, no, Joel, you are not a good guy. You're the bad guy. You just killed everyone because you got selfish. But in the show, they were able to do things that just made so much sense to me that I'm like, I don't see Joel as the villain. He's just a guy that's lost so much that losing one more thing, he just can't do it. And then adding the suicide aspect in the last episode, I thought they did a better way of humanizing Joel to the point where I'm like, I don't think he's the bad guy. I think Joel is just a guy living in this fucked up world. So in that aspect, I think the story in the show just, I think it does a really good job. The game's very different. Also in the game, you got to remember, it's like probably like a 20-hour game, 15-hour game. So you're with these characters for way longer. You're controlling them. You're having these conversations. A lot more action sequences in the game that there are in the show. That being said, the action sequences that we did get in the show were good. I'm not going to complain about what we did got. What we got, like the episode with Sam and Henry, and you see like the bloater and all that. That was a great scene. I really enjoyed that. So that be like the way that the show, the good that the show does, I thought was really good. Even the adaptation of that it's not spores, but instead the cordyceps, like it's the fungus instead on the underground. I thought that was a great change because in the game they'd have to wear masks. So what they did is adjust it so now it's not in the air, so they don't have to wear masks. You can see the actors' faces. I thought that was really good. One other thing that I really enjoyed is that they used time pretty well. I think the shortest episode was like 40 minutes. I think for a limited streaming series, that's the perfect amount. I think some of my issues with The Mandalorian is that some of the episodes are closer to like 30 minutes, and I'm just like, I'm only getting 8 episodes a year, a season, even if it's a year. No, Mandalorian's been gone for long more than a year. I want to make sure you're giving me a good runtime for each of these episodes because I'm not getting that many of them. So I really enjoyed that they didn't mess with that. There was a few episodes that felt slightly shorter, like you could have gotten a little bit longer out of it, but I'm not really going to complain too much about that. If you check out my individual episodes, I want to say the one that only bothered me a little bit was the last episode. But it's more because I thought at this point you could have done something cool of like an Ellie and Joel, like, oh, we beat a bloater by ourselves moment, which we didn't get. So that's like some of the little things I would have changed. All right, let me see if there's any other good that I want to talk about. The use of impacting with death. So when Tess died, when Sarah died, when Sam died, and even at the end where Marlene dies, I thought they did a really good job of conveying these deaths in a way that's not cheap. You didn't feel like, oh, they just killed them just to kill them. No, these deaths had meaning. And it wasn't like they died in vain. Even when Anna died, which is something new to the show, I thought like all these deaths had meaning and I felt something for them. I can't say that about a lot of shows. A lot of shows, they'll do a death here and there, like maybe once every other season. But Last of Us had it pretty consistent and they did a really good job of it. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. One other thing that I'll praise them for is that they weren't afraid to go having LGBTQ characters. So like Frank and Bill, Ellie and Riley. I thought it was good of them like showing a showcase on them. I thought that was good for diversity, and it didn't feel like diversity for diversity's sake. Those were part of the game, and they just put a show to highlight on it. The Frank and Bill episode, holy crap, that was an amazing episode. So I'm on the mind of like, it was great that they actually highlighted that, and I enjoyed how they did that. All right, guys, let's now move on to the bad. One thing that everyone's going to talk about, not enough infected, and I will 100% agree. This is a show that's supposed to be action-based because it's an action-based game, and they didn't really have that much action. What was there was good, but you could have had way more. So I think that was something that was missing on this. I'm hoping Season 2 does have more. The creators have talked about like, oh yeah, we want to have more in Season 2. And it's like, well, yeah, when you're spending this much money and it's about an apocalypse, you kind of want to see that. Another thing that I kind of wish they would have had is more time indicators of how much time's passing between episodes. So between episode 8 and 9, so after Ellie almost getting raped, and episode 5 and seeing how Joel, and someone commented on a previous video about this, how it was probably a good amount of time would happen and maybe Joel was trying to work with her trauma. And that could have been something that like, oh, maybe that's why Joel was acting weird. But we didn't get that sense because we didn't know how much time's actually passed. It was just, oh, Joel's acting weirder now. He's being all nice and nice. It's like if we would have gotten a time indication, maybe that could have helped us understand what's going on there. But we didn't get anything like that. Another thing, and although I just praised the Frank and Bill episode, I don't think you need to have the Frank and Bill episode and the Riley Ellie episode. I think when you have 9 episodes to use, and 2 of them are kind of filler episodes. And they're not necessarily filler. The Ellie one does tell you stuff about her past, but when I went back and watched that episode, not that much happened that you could have actually brought that down to like a flashback in an episode that's like 15 minutes. They didn't need the full episode for it. And the Frank and Bill, that was amazing. I thought the adaptation from Frank and Bill from the game to Frank and Bill in the show, completely different, and I enjoyed what they did in the show. So since that was so amazing, I didn't think you need the Riley Ellie episode, because I thought that was good. I can't remember actually what I gave that episode. I don't think I thought too high like I did the Frank Bill episode. That one, the way they used time, so many flashbacks and things like that, I thought that worked really great there. Where I was just like, the Riley Ellie episode just seemed like it was too much of the same when we could have used it for maybe other things. Like maybe that's where we could have had a little bit more action, things happening. And yeah, that was something I had to knock the show down for, because you didn't need both. You could have just taken one of them out. All right, and let me see if I have anything else that I want to complain about now that I'm thinking. Nope, I got nothing, guys. I just spent a few minutes. You guys aren't seeing me just thinking, but yeah, I don't have anything else I'd say was really bad. This show does so much right. When I talk about something that's an adaptation from a video game, which are hard to do, Last of Us did everything in such a great fashion that there's really not much to complain about. I thought most people were going to enjoy this show. I mean, the viewership showing that people were going in, they were like, us people were word of mouth of like, oh, watch The Last of Us, that the ratings kept going up and up. And it's just showing how good this is. Maybe one thing that could be changed. No, I can't. Because I know where they're going with season 2, and there might be some issues there. I want to see how it's going to be shot, because the game is shot in a weird way where half the game is from one perspective, half the game is the other. But there's like the things, even though like they're so like A to B for the first half and A to B to the second half are from the same time period. So it's kind of like they're stacked on top of each other, and you're seeing things from one character's perspective, and then you're seeing things from another character's perspective, but they're going through the same time period. So I'm not sure how it's going to be shot, if we're going to be seeing both people at the same time, or if we're going to show like 4 episodes with one character, and then 4 episodes with another, and then we're going to have a final episode when we're seeing both. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm very curious to see how that's going to happen. But yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on season 1. Like I said, it's an 8 out of 10, great for me. I'm hoping season 2 comes out next year, but I'm not exactly sure. It should come out next year. Will they use something to make Bella Ramsey look a little bit older? Since there is, I think, maybe like a 5-year time gap between the first game to the second game in story, so we'll see what they do there. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I hope you guys are too. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought. And please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Guys, we had an amazing, great show, but I'll even say it was an amazing feeling. Even though I don't think the show itself is amazing at this moment, it's an amazing feeling of, wow, we got something that you can tell the love and the care went into it. There was just some things that didn't work, but it wasn't like it was a lot of things. So yeah, guys, hope to hear from you soon. And hopefully we get another season soon. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.